We have an exciting agenda today, so let us begin with our webinar Think Outside the Machine webinar series. Today's topic is industrial AI agents. As you all know, Industrility is an AI aftermarket platform for equipment manufacturers. And so today we have a very exciting topic on industrial AI agents and how that is driving aftermarket growth. The webinar will be recorded today. So if you find it interesting, please pass it on to your colleagues. Um, Ask questions throughout the webinar in the Q&A box, and we will do our best to answer them as we go along. The topic is very interesting. Industrial manufacturers, we are anchoring all of that into the reality of industrial manufacturers. And we like to keep our webinars very, very practical. So you'll see the magic of AI with real demos today, and we'll do our best to bring a lot of industrial context that we talk about on our day-to-day basis. I am the Chief Revenue Officer at Industrility. I have 15 years of experience working in manufacturing and industrial companies. And together with me presenting today is Jinesh, CEO of Industrility and an expert at AI and technology. Jinesh, do you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Achint.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jinesh. All right. So with that, I'm going to begin. So let me tell you a story that will resonate with a lot of you. Imagine, the engineer who built the machine that you see in front of you, retired 3 years ago. The manuals of that machine or a version of it, 15 versions of those resides in many folders. The field tech who was an expert on this specific model just handed his notice, and the customer just called. The machine is down. This is quite the catastrophe playing out across industrial OEMs everywhere. No blame, no solution, with lots of paperwork all over the place. And this might be happening at your site as well. And we believe this is where AI is going to be the differentiator in helping digitize a lot of this historic data, making it available to the modern space where you can scale and grow your aftermarket. So let's see why aftermarket is important and what how is AI reshaping it. So for many years there were some of these the best companies in the world. Think of John Deere, Caterpillar, GE. Their growth lever, their secret sauce of their recurring revenue, secret sauce of continuous growth and investment into R&D was their focus on aftermarket. Aftermarket results in 2.5 times more EBITDA contribution towards their bottom line compared to say equipment sales. Often the value of aftermarket is 11 times more than the value of equipment sales over the lifetime of that equipment. And that's why aftermarket is the biggest growth lever as well as a competitor differentiator for equipment manufacturers. Now, on top of that, industrial AI is a massive market right now, $43 billion, growing at a 23%. And finally this year or end of last year, we are seeing a third of the companies moving from just pilots and just POCs into real implementing and scaling. Yes, they are still being held by historic unstructured data. That is still the case, but they are now looking at moving away from pilots and really shaping the growth with AI. And finally, the topic of today, which is very much agentic AI. Agentic AI is, there was a very interesting article from Deloitte on manufacturing outlook. agentic AI is going to be the two competitive moat as well as a competitive threat. If you as an OEM are not embarked on that journey, it is a threat. And if you are ahead on that journey, you can actually build a competitive moat, because that is going to drive hyper personalized customer response, customer service, very, very fast customer response, very accurate predictive maintenance strategies where you are a partner to your clients. All of this requires both a transformation at the leadership level, where they need to be engaged with the right AI mindset, but also it requires a change transformation with people to be, for all the repetitive works to be managed by agentic AI. However, the people will be transformed to a more value added tasks. So this is where the market is going. Unfortunately or fortunately, it's going at a much faster pace than the organizations are able to adapt themselves. And that's where we come in and consultants come in to help OEMs transition through that faster. Today we are going to talk about, in order to go down that journey. So with that backdrop, what are the core enemies within OEMs that is really holding them back, right? So first is there's a huge burden of unstructured industrial data. Data is in 15 different silos. It's in ERPs like SAP, IFS, Oracle. It is in job folders. We hear this almost daily as we speak to OEMs. Oh yes, our data is in a folder or a SharePoint site. There are multiple ERP systems, and as you go through acquisitions or as you go through multiple ERP systems, a lot of this data is even lost. What does this mean for your customers, right? A customer calls today and they need a fix to a problem. Your current first time fix rate is only at 35%, whereas the best companies who are on this digitization journey, their first time fix rate is at 85%. That means you are less efficient, your customers are unhappy, and it is impacting their uptime. So this cleaning that up is super important. And one of the use cases we'll discuss today is how AI is helping on that journey of actually helping you, bring the data to a good quality level so that you can build more agentic capabilities on top. So that's one of the things that we'll talk about. The second thing is, the whole a lot of this data is buried in tribal knowledge. We hear this almost daily, where service teams or parts teams or support teams would say, we've always done it this way. There are processes that are running for many years, and there is a reluctance to change. There is complex SOPs where it is dependent on people to do certain tasks, even though a lot of this data is already documented. There is a lot of heterogeneity in terms of many different models over a period of time. There's lots of heterogeneity from many suppliers. So you might have a large compressor with a motor coming from 5 different suppliers, and all of them have different service requirements and different maintenance requirements. So all of that heterogeneity, all of that tribal knowledge, which is residing in technicians which are working for 20, 30 years. And that means when new machines come in, some critical maintenance gaps are seen because the tribal knowledge has not progressed, but your machines have modernized significantly, and that means there are certain lapses in service recommendations to your clients. So both historic unstructured data and this tribal knowledge and reliance on the tribal knowledge is really holding a lot of these agentic AI, but as well as aftermarket growth, it's holding these OEMs back. And with that backdrop, I would like to bring Jinesh to talk about are some of the amazing agentic AI capabilities, which helps OEMs go from structuring the unstructured data, so ingesting unstructured data, to helping them with assistance from a chatbot perspective, to helping them to extract maintenance and instructions and maintenance plan, and then even executing it in the field. So this whole expansion and enabling that within hyper personalization, that is the name of the game today. So Jinesh, with that, I would like to invite you for a quick demo.
Yes, thank you so much, Achint, for laying the stage and talking about the biggest thing in the industrial ecosystem today, which is very much the problem that we see across the board in variety of different industrial manufacturers, as well as their operators as well. One of the what Achin mentioned is the problem that I have seen at least in the last in a decade or so. I have seen at more than 1,000 companies where the problem landscape is real. The aftermarket is a huge opportunity for these manufacturers, but it is an afterthought. And then the reason for the afterthought is also because the data is not organized in the right way. The data is not available. They are much more effective when you have access to the data, but the over a period of time, endless ERP migrations have caused multiple different elements of surprises for different types of people. So today we are going to talk about how AI agents have actually helped us not only organize this data, we call it the ingestion agent, but also assist in the whole process of how it creates a knowledge base, a complete asset graph, or your digital twin graph of your entire machine installed base, extracting knowledge data from these documents, such as maintenance information and maintenance instructions and tasks that are buried inside your very rich information associated with the documents and manuals and PNID diagrams and other things. And then most importantly, how do you actually even act on these by ensuring that this data connects and creates these templates for your service technicians so that they can go out on the field and get data. So so let's see the first and foremost. What Achin mentioned is what I call it the dreaded job folder. We have seen time and time again the unorganized after sales information that has been dumped in these folders. It has been over a period of time. There are different types of documents, PDFs, Word documents, CAD files, even unreadable, scanned PDFs and photographic documents going back by 2009 or 2000, year of 2000, where customers see these type of information or store these information and have been doing this for the last 50 years. What we do as technology experts on this, we take this as a challenge on our side to understand the industrial and understand the industrial context, and our ingestion agent runs um, on premises for the customer to get their information extracted from these documents, and see that knowledge being built, and we build the entire install base as well. So let's see quickly in the spirit of making it real. We have recorded this demo for you so that you can see it in how a particular agent will focus on. So here what you are seeing is a similar folder. We just point this folder to a particular site, and then customers are able to understand or provide us the location of their shared drive, or a folder structure, we will automatically, our industrial AI engine will take that data, classify them into different engineering drawings and general documents, maintenance documents, manuals, BOM, spare parts. We take this intelligently, understand this data, and we build the knowledge graph or the digital twin graph for your machine. The biggest question that we answer here is, where is your install base? What do you do with your current install base? And then not in theory, but in real management infrastructure that will help you organize all of this data and create where are your assets by the serial number, by the model number, what are the documents associated with that model. And at the end of the day, we offer all this ingested data, fully organized in a very nice way. So what I did in earlier is we took that piece of data. It had multiple different document structures, and then it organized all this into a customer facing web application, which will work with mobile and other screen types, and it creates your installed base digitized for you. So here, this is an example of that job folder that we just extracted automatically for you, intelligently, and then you can see the CAD. This is the application for a offshore management system where there are tons and tons of different assets within that entire system. We organize based on systems, assets, and then variety of different applications that you can customize on the left side. As well as this is a customer facing as well as dealer facing application that can be accessed, so your dealers can only see the assets that they have. And we build the entire digital twin graph, so you can see, hey, where is the chlorination plant, or where is the the filter unit, or where is the a particular asset within that system, very much available. And we build in this particular case, over 2000 assets were created by your installed base automatically. And then we take this opportunity to understand the customers in the asset context. And so you can go into a particular asset, and then also see their serial number, their model numbers, their no timeline history, if they have given us that information. But most importantly is the documents that are associated with it, like manuals, that will be sales order information and others that we will extract from this data. And then we organize this data from our digital agent to provide this type of a service.
Jinesh, this
Once
was
this,
this was
yeah,
fantastic. So you were saying you processed, I don't know, 500 or 1,000 documents just from a folder, which is, it could be PDF, it could be Excel, it could be Word, all of that. You categorize it, and not just categorize it, but you then what you scanned all the documents, you took all the right. No, there might be an order form. In that order form, you might have a customer name, you might have a serial number. You actually took all of that and made it ready in an install page. So that it's not just categorization. You actually read each and every file. So maybe one file might be 5 pages. You had 5,000 files. So, 25,000 pages, all of that read, and then took the right information and actually created the install page. Is that a fair summary of what you just did there?
yes, yes, exactly. So we created our ingestion agents works in 5 and 10 parallel threads. Each of these threads are essentially looking at sales order, system information, looking for serial number information, and others which scan these documents. Even if they are physical, like unscannable, we will look at the pixels elements to get the data. Our industrial AI engine then takes the context, provides it to and organizes this data into our own ingestion scripts, and then we upload it or upload them based on your approval with the human in the loop. and only the applications and the assets that are documents that you have authorized will be uploaded and to our platform to give you a complete organized after sales data.
That's
So
brilliant.
that
That's brilliant. So,
yeah.
that's amazing. So you've got the data. What's next? What
Yeah.
happens? What
So
happens
once
next?
fantastic. So once we organize your installed base data, the opportunity is massive. You will be able to see where your assets are. You will be able to see what your documents are. You will be able to see where your machines are located and so forth. And then we take that information to feed it to the Twin agent, which is our Twin GPT engine that runs, which you can now query through natural language, all the different aspects where your serial number becomes your system of record. So if I go back into the demo, you would be able to see, all this organized information. And under Twin GPT, we have already now ingested, indexed, vectorized these information back forth. And you'd be able to ask natural language question such as, who you are a world class maintenance engineer. Now you can prompt this in a way where it says, please generate all the work instructions that were associated with this particular asset from the documents that I have uploaded. Don't take any generic internet knowledge that will hallucinate. Take only the grounded truth that you have uploaded from your machine's document structure, and it will generate the necessary instructions. So this one I'm querying this to say, give me all the work instructions that I need to complete a particular inspection. So it's looking at your OEM documents, your policy documents, and others, and then generating this in real time. What type of information they will be able to create. And once you generate, you have this entire knowledge base at your disposal. This is where the real intelligence lives. It builds your semantic understanding of your asset maintenance. Operational requirements are also transcribed. Critically, it does this with a grounded truth. So let's say a pump 4471 on platform on an offshore platform A, you'll be able to actual documentation cite the sections in which this has been also referenced as well. So you would, once these documents are getting generated, or these natural knowledge, it connects all these different documents together into your graph and generates the bite-sized information. Whether it's in Spanish or Japanese, you'll be able to also language translate these in live to give you the knowledge that is associated within your own document data structures. This is very powerful. Now that you can generate these instructions, you can also do extraction of this information into real formats as well. So
So Jinesh, this, the story that I was saying, the field technician has walked out, but the machine is down. They can still, troubleshoot the machine very effectively. Yes, the documents might be in multiple languages. They might be oily. They might not be even readable. They can use this kind of a hyper personalized troubleshooting with simple natural language, and it'll give a very detailed instruction. So suddenly now, even your junior field force, yes, they might not be trained on older machines, but suddenly they are now active and ready to help their clients right away.
correct, correct. Yeah, it what we have built on top of generic AI, LLMs, context like Gemini, Claude, OpenAI, and all these different generic platforms. We have built an industrial layer, a semantic industrial layer that understands the industrial context, the terminology, the different terms that you use. On top of that, we did extreme fine tuning to explain to understand these industrial document data structures, and then provide this to the customers, so that they can understand and also make sense of these documents as well. So that was what we did. As Achint, you mentioned, we want to organize the data into after sales information, make it ready, because after sales is a big big opportunity for the OEM. Then we extracted, I would say, no, created a knowledge base around it. And now we want to extract the document from the data, from these documents, actual maintenance information. So we are taking one specific use case, which is what are the intervals within these documents that you have associated, and intervals as in monthly, annual, quarterly maintenance tasks that are there in these manuals. You would be able to, with using our doc GPT infrastructure, now you would be able to also, go into our infrastructure and say, hey, now that I have, let's say, a particular actuator that has all these different documents, properly organized and available, I can run our doc GPT infrastructure to say only extract the maintenance intervals from these, that will help you say which tasks you want to perform, or which task the service technician wants to perform from these OEM documents. Now remember, OEM documents can be of variety of different types. It can come from different, formats. It could be Siemens, ABB. It could be variety of different documents from different types of OEMs or suppliers that you might have, and each of them are different formats and structures. But we want to create a consistent, you know, complete system view and create that. So here you can simply go into a particular extract. You can say, hey, I want to extract all the PM activities, which preventative maintenance activity, and it will look at your current processing documents and say, I want to take all these documents that I have processed, and it automatically starts extracting in deep research, each of these documents, and starts getting more and more, looking at whether it's 40-page, 100-page, 200-page documents in different formats. It will now start, based on this document data structures, create those maintenance checks. So this will take approximately 15 to 30 minutes, because it's taking each of these pages, understanding the industrial context, and only extracting the basic task that the service technician has to perform. Remember, we have also done things like do not include your commissioning information, do not include your decommissioning or installation instructions, only your maintenance information and different frequency types that are available. So I'll go back and start and show you a completed process which basically processed each of these documents in the past, and you would be able to see, you know what the documents included. For the what do you have to do in 10 years, what do you have to do in 3 months, what you have to do in 4 to 6 months, or annual, monthly, quarterly maintenance frequencies, and it generates these different tasks associated with it. Now you might want to know, like, hey, maybe the AI has not done a great job. So we have put human in the loop in between to essentially, show you where the source document information is as well. So no, you would be able to see within your document data structures, imagine 50 documents on that asset, where exactly we found the source of the documents, and what was that particular task that they have to perform on a sub assembly or a sub part. So we extract all that and say, hey, if I have to create this information and see, understand what are there. So in this case, 82 different tasks were created for that asset. Each of their frequencies are already mapped and digitized. We show them the reference of these, and then we also show you the actual document associated with it, where you can see where this source data came from. So this is grounded truth that is coming from your install based information, your documents, and your data digital twin information that you have provided to us, and then it gives you a power of extracting this data into different types of formats and CSV. You can delete these ones that are not relevant, and you can then export that into Excel, or provide that to your customers, and go and then manage that as well.
And Jinesh, this can you tell me if this can also work in a dealer scenario, because I was speaking with assume I am an OEM. I have an install base for about 10,000, I don't know, lawnmowers, and I have 200 dealers or 500 dealers, and I want all my dealers to sell service contracts, and I want them to deliver hyper personalized digital service so that they can do the service in a digital manner instead of doing it on a paper format, which is ugly and doesn't even work. You're saying if I have all my 10,000 install base here with all of its own models and manuals, it can automatically personalize for every serial number, because each one of them might have a different engine, might have a different, I don't know, different capacity. They would require different inspections. So all of that can be automatically created. Doesn't take 2 years. This can be done in minutes or hours or days, and it can be ready. Is that correct? It can also work in a dealer scenario as well as a non-dealer scenario.
Absolutely correct. So, when it comes to really understanding the industrial context, we cannot ignore the big elephant in the room, which is the dealer or distributors. These are the people who are actually having relationship with the customer, the end customers. So in our platform, we like to empower the dealers, and only provide access for the assets based on their territory that they have managed. So within your platform, you'll be able to, the dealers will be able to log in. They'll be able to see only the assets that they belong, they manage, and for those customers, and provide rich information to their customers. So by empowering the dealers, we we make sure that even they can augment your parts sales with their service opportunities, and and make this easy. Now there are multiple different model types, multiple different machine types, asset classes, system and subsystems and component level. Not everybody is expert at everything in the world. So we want to make it easier for the dealers to do the service technician service for you, and provide your manufacturer's guarantee that they have completed all the different things associated. So let's see in action how we take it to that further next level. Once you once you see the information that is extracted from your current install base, organized by serial number, and looking at the documents, now you're able to see the maintenance frequencies and intervals that are there. But what if how how do you know and you capture your data even more by looking at the inspection templates and so forth? So this information that we just showed you from a particular actuator now can be completely digitized into an inspection. Now, inspection is something which will, when the customer will go in, your dealer or your end customer or your service technician is able to go in and then take step by step instruction. So we converted that into a step by step instructions that your dealers can take on a mobile, on the field. They'll be able to capture more information, such as give me the photograph, give me the video or audio, it's not working well. So, and complete step by step information. This has been in the tribal knowledge, buried with the veterans, that veteran technicians who know this by themselves. But there are these junior technicians who will never know or won't be able to learn quickly enough on, or miss items such as safety information and others. By digitizing this across different OEM documents and making it asset centric, we are creating a checklist of items that they will never miss. They will be able to upload documents on the field and create that, and further enrich your digital twin with service information, which will give you more empowerment on how and when you can predict what parts you want to provide to that customer, and when do you want to do the right service, for them. So this creates a very effective way by which your agents are essentially able to work for you. These are AI agents which will take care of all your data quality problems, and then make it available to your end customers and your dealers in a very easy to use fashion.
Yeah, I think this is great, right? I think some of these things are have been possible for made to stock items. I think that it's simpler to do it for made to stock items, but what you just showed, it's almost impossible to scale for made to order equipments. There's just so much variability, so much heterogeneity that it's not possible to scale these kind of use cases through dealers or direct without the use of AI. So I think that's where the competitive moat creation comes in. So that was fantastic, Jinesh, to see that we are able to you're able to create all of this at such fast pace with a human in the loop just to approve it, rather than going through hundreds of pages of documents to create it. So I think this is fantastic to see how AI agents is being used here. So thank you. I think that was great.
Yeah. But one thing I want to add, Achint, is this is the end-to-end intelligence loop, right? Like, let me zoom out and show you what it looks like end-to-end. Like you will be able to, from fragmented data, scan documents, ERP records, SharePoint folders, field reports, all of this was disconnected, right? The industrial AI platform sits in the middle. These four agents are ingestion agents and twin agents. This is real, right? This is going out, understanding your industrial context, making this data available for you, and creating these tasks for you. That is that your real service technicians can go out and then capture more information, organized information for you to further enhance, and it creates a complete flywheel loop where your data becomes more enriched as well as you getting more intelligent day by day with the power of AI. So this is what I think is a opportunity where you have we did one of, and maybe you can talk about this case study as well in this slide to see what was achieved at the end of the day.
Yeah, fantastic. So thank you so much for all the demos, Jinesh. I think that was really, really good. If any one of you have any questions, please put them in the chat window. We have a couple of more minutes and we'll try to address those. We've done a couple of projects in both an OEM space, but also in a chemical plant space. So they are kind of two different scenarios, but the use case was the same: industrial equipment. So electrical systems, big filters, compressors, so lots of heterogeneous data, and they wanted to create consistent maintenance tasks which are optimized based on usage, and based on that they wanted to reduce cost, right? So great, you can do that at one plant. Fantastic. Now you want to replicate at the other at plant number 2. More variability, more heterogeneity. And now just imagine scaling that at 500 plants and 1,000 plants. Suddenly it becomes an impossible task. And that is what I see at a lot of these OEMs. They think this is an impossible task to do, and so let's not do it. Let's just focus on selling more machines. But that is where I think AI is changing the game. It is enabling some of these impossible tasks that were not possible to be digitized and to be optimized. And so that is where the magic is. And I think even after looking at a lot of your demo, Jinesh, it still feels a lot of this is impossible. So I think unless people feel it, see it, test it, I think it still feels a lot impossible. So because this is what it is able to do, reading 10,000 documents in a matter of minutes and figuring out what the data is. I think all of that is still um, I find it unbelievably powerful. So thank you so much for sharing that. Ultimately, what this means is you're able to do much more than than the capacity that you have, and so that means you are able to take your resources and get them closer to your customers and serve your customers better. That is ultimately, what people are there for.
One
So
the one thing I would like to add to what you just mentioned is industrial manufacturers know that there is a gold mine in aftermarket with the data that they already have. What, and this problem is not new, it is already there, they know about it. The only thing that AI is able to do now, and why this is so urgent and important, is that it's able to understand your industrial after sales data and make it available to your end customers to leverage that gold mine that you have of data that is powerful for you to increase your after sale revenue, your service visibility, your customer loyalty, and make this available and make your customers for life. So this is a power that we bring in for every industrial manufacturer today. And if you would like to know about this, get ahead of AI rather than behind. This is my 2 cents, which will really get you the embracing this AI in a different way will get you the best bang for buck. So thank you very much.
thank you very much, Jinesh. That was fantastic. With that note, get ahead of AI instead of being behind your competitors. I think on that note, we'll close the webinar. Thank you so much for everyone for joining and spending your valuable 45 minutes with us. Truly appreciate your time. And uh, one last thing, you will receive a recording of this webinar. You'll also receive a quick feedback, a survey in that email. Please respond to that survey if it's relevant, so that we can keep doing more of these webinars that are relevant for you. So thank you so much. Have a nice day, and speak to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.